Hi everybody and welcome back to another episode of Dishonored. As you can see, the river crust infestation has spread. Worrying, troublesome times. It's not like our Empress got murdered and I'm framed for it. With, you know, conspiracy people taking the throne. And there's plagues and killer rats and all sorts of shit. No. River crust, whatever the fuck that is. Some fungal thing. I don't know. But we're here, we're in the Houndspit pub. We got here last episode. Did some snooping. And now it's time to lay our heads down. We've had a long day, even though we're only, you know, starting the episode now. Let us go to sleep. Because it's very important to get your 8 hours, of course. Oh dear. Another day, another dollar, another murderer. What the? Why is my door blocked over? What? What? The shit. Corvo? We tripping on some fine Tibian cigars, or... What the fuck is going on here? Buddy, please tell me we're dreaming. We have to be dreaming. What the fuck is that? Yeah, no, this isn't us. Strange gravity. Holy
Hello,
shit!
Corvo. Your life has taken a turn, has it
What the hell are
not?
you, dude?
The Empress is dead. Her precious daughter Emily is lost somewhere in the city, and you will play a pivotal role in the days to come. For this, I have chosen you and drawn you into the void.
The void?
I am the outsider, and this is my mark. There are forces in the world and beyond the world, great forces that men call magic. And now, these forces will serve you.
Ooh!
Use this newfound power, my gift to you. Come find me.
What the fuck is some sort of... Oh! Power, blink! Press L2 to execute a fast and stealthy forward dash through the world. You can use it... Also use it to move upward, but the distance is reduced. Aiming at ledges will also allow you to blink forward and climb up. Hold L2 to target your destination with precision. A blue sphere indicates that you will reach your destination. A blue arrow indicates that you will climb up when you reach your destination. I have fucking blinky powers now. Oh my. It makes noises too. Oh dude, don't show me this. You cannot save her, you cannot save her, you cannot save her. Okay, well, it's a bit like that. She's a mean Empress lady. Oh. Piero's spirit. Oh, that's Piero's little thing. Interesting. Like, it makes weird noises. Oh shit! I fell. Guys, I fell. I'm gonna have to deal with that. What the fuck? Can I interact with these guys, or is it... Corvo, I'm very sad. They say that you're dead like mother, but I'm going to put this note in a bottle and throw it into the river, because I do not believe them. Living here is very strange. I do not like it, so please come for me if you can. Oh man. Don't worry, kiddo, I'm coming for you. Oh, I see. So you see like the little lightning bolt, it recharges slowly. Touché. I see how to work this thing now, so I have to be patient. Patience is a virtue, I guess. Oh, that's Voldemort. Holy fuck, there's a whale in the background too. What is he doing? Is he trying to like figure out where I am, or is he planning some sort of weird thing? Ooh. That's interesting. Okay. I might have to deal with that. They're getting shot at? Oh, what the fuck are these things? Robotic men? Shields and shit? No, no, no. That's not a fan of that crap. Alright, so the bad people have robotic people. Robotic soldiers of death. Oh god, not gonna that. So wait, we're tripping out. This outsider dude has brought us into the void place, and he's some weird shit happen. God, that looks better.
In the days that follow, your trials will be great, Corvo. Seek the ancient runes bearing my mark in the lonely places of your world, and at shrines raised in my name. These runes will grant you powers beyond those of other men. To help you find these runes, I give you this, the heart of a living thing, molded by my hands. With this heart, you will hear many secrets, and it will guide you toward my runes, no matter how they may be hidden. Listen to the heart now, and find another rune.
Oh, fuck the heart. Oh! The heart whispers secrets? Weird as shit. There's a rune down here. Oh, can I... There we go. So you follow the heart and it gives you runes, and runes are like upgrades for my powers. Ooh, that's blinking. Can I go down there, or should I be going on the rooftops? Oh, I see it. Alright, so I need to go through Corvo, my dude. What the shit? And that more of that potions, please. Thank you. Yeah. Fuck me. Alright, so we got a rune. There's his mark on it. Once you click some runes, open the journal and go to the power section to exchange it for powers. Oh my god. Look at some of them. Holy shit. Oh, fuck me. Alright. Dark vision. See in the dark and see living beings behind the... Oh my god. Hold on. Level 2. Objects and shit. Ugh. How much does this cost? I can get this. I have blink. Blink level 1, yeah. Rapid forward movement for a longer distance. Oh, so I can get like more distance of it. Cool. Possession allows animal targets. Ooh. Allows control of human. I want that. Slows time for a short period. Completely stops time. Devouring swarm. Jesus. A swarm of rats that will attack others. Oh, okay. That's... Wind blast? Shadow kill. Turn to ash as they die. Holy fuck. Agility. Jump height is increased and falling damage is reduced. That's also good to have. Overall movement speed is increased. That's also good. Bloodthirsty. Build up adrenaline and then trigger brutal melee fatalities. Health is increased. Health regeneration improved. Oh, they're also good to have too. I really want, oh my god, dark position though. Dark vision, sorry. Dark vision. Press L2 to see in the dark and to reveal living beings through solid walls. You can also see their fields of view, as well as a visual representation of the sound you make. Level 2 shows you important items through walls like security devices, weapons, ammo, coins, keys or traps. Oh, okay. I need level 2. I need 2 runes.
How you use what I have given you falls upon you, as it has to the others before you. And now I return you to your world, but know that I will be watching with great interest.
Oh my god, I'm so ready for this. Fuck, there it is. So it wasn't a crazy dream, it actually happened. I've got powers now. What the fuck is that thing? Mission clues. Samuel the boatman has smuggled you across the river from Calder's prison. Pierre is... No. Oh my. Oh, it's just a mystical wolfhound artifact. What the fuck does that do? Bone charms! Oh. Bone charms provide small supernatural benefits. Locate them by listening for the song they emit. By default, you can activate up to 3 bone charms at once in the bone charms section of your journal. Hold on. Pause. Oh, so I actually have 4. Apparently. Use when sword v sword contacts more frequently. Damage from explosions reduced. So these are like buffs. Shoot whiskey bottles, explode. Shot whiskey bottles. I don't really want those two. So these are like little buffs I can find. And then if I... Oh no. Oops. How do I get the heart again? There it is. Oh my god, there's a rune. More bone chance. Okay. We need to chill out. Pouches and... What are them? Journal of Granny Rags. What the fuck is that? What, Oh, these are upgrades. Now there's one additional bone charm to be activated. And touche. I see what those do now. So bone charms. I got void channel. Powers effects slightly improved. Ooh, I like that. White rays won't attack you. I like that too. Consume for mana. Fuck yeah. Oh, that's so cool, man. So I got 4. So those statues actually give me extra slots. Right, who the fuck is Granny Rags? Excerpt from the ramblings of a street denizen. Of course I'll tell you, dear. Oh, of course I'll tell you, dearie. I won't keep any secrets from you in the end. All the dreary days of my life are like the window of a house. From the kitchen I can see out in the garden where the leaves and stalks are brown and bug-eaten. You can see a little lump of dirt where someone was wrapped in a blanket and laid to rest along the rows of twisting vines. The front room looks into the streets where the neighbors are all setting fires to their homes, barricading themselves inside. Warm and snug, dearie. Don't forget about the bedroom either. I sound very British, actually. I sound very British, don't I? That's terrible, I apologise. Alright, that hurts my voice too. So, it's seasoned to a dreary alley where hooligans are playing a game with an old man. The first 2 are hitting him with sticks, and the girl with them is kicking at his dry old ribs. Oh, to have those bones, to boil them in a... Okay. No one lives in my house anymore, dearie. No one you'd want to meet. When I lived there with my husband, we were fine people. Vera more, everyone would say. Your house is as grand as Boyle Manor, better even. Your dinners are lavish and your parties are the best. When that young Sokolov came to paint my portrait, I was nearly still in my prime. Radiant, he said, and he was just barely a man, so young, painting all the best people across the land. Everyone wanted a portrait by his hand, all my friends. I was the only one, dearie, wet with his paint, glistening on the canvas for a pretty coin. But it wasn't all the parties and paintings. My husband and I weren't always at home, no. We travelled together, he and I, to the far ends of the isle, beyond even, all the way to the red cliffs of Pandacia. Really? To dig in the rocks and crawl through the caves, holding up candles and squinting at the walls. Many precious things we came upon, but none so precious as the boy with the black eyes, dearie. Oh, fuck. All those marks and bones, carved so deep and polished so bright. So she met the outsider too. I brought the old bones home, hid them from my dear husband, then I learned to boil them and carve them myself. Oh, God. That sounds terrible. They made such good presents, dearie. The little mute boy took them home. He loved them so. All the time he came back with new bones for me, holding them up so I could see it in his eyes, even though his tongue was still. Granny, his eyes would say to me, carve these bones for me, make me another present, and he went so far, all the way to Dunmore Tower, the royal headsman himself now, my little mute boy and his shiny, shiny sword. Better bones were what I needed, you see, better bones to carve and polish, scrape and gleam. My dear old husband was always tired. I made him soup, and then he was sick. Really? Better bones was all. For my little mute boy, carved in the name of the one with black eyes. And after my husband was gone, given away as birthday gifts, I didn't want to live there anymore. So now I'm old, and don't have many to give my presents to. It's sifting through the garbage for granny rags and feeding the little birdies that gather at my feet. No one wants to have tea, dearie, especially those rude louts on Bottle Street, Slackjaw and his boys, always meddling with an old woman just trying to make her way. In the end, we'll be together with him, you and me, in the dreary nights with stars above and below, and always the one with the black eyes, dearie. So she knows of the outsider dude. Did she murder her husband? Also, Slackjaw. Good lord. You want the chin wag on Slackjaw? What he was like when he was young, before he got his name? Oh, he's got a cool head now, but it weren't always like that in the days before he was boss of the Bottle Street Gang. It's a terrible name. Time was, young Slackjaw wasn't such a reasonable man. Like most of us, he grew up in the streets, running with a pack of ragamuffins, and avoiding the law, pinching whatever he needed, dark-haired and dark-eyed, smoking a pipe by the age of 10. For them born in the brothels or coming from the orphanages, it was either the gangs or working with the mudlarks, and no one wants that. Some got pressed into the Navy or put away in the mines run by the Pendleton or Boyle families. As hard as it was on the streets, as hungry as we all got, at least we were free. By the time we were little uns anymore, Slackjaw was one to watch, usually calling the shots when he took down a farmer's cart or sidewalk street vendor. He'd come up with a plan, give everyone some part to play, and decide on the split. Most of us just went along because we learned fast that we made out better like that. More food, more coin, plus none of us wanted to deal with Slackjaw when he was in a rage. He worked on a couple of big jobs with Black Sally across town, and that was enough to get the attention of the other bosses. He wasn't just a street kid anymore. Now he was an up and comer, which meant trouble. Another guy who fancied himself as such was Mike the Fish, who was working his way up, running the protection racket among the factory women. One fine evening, we all taken in a bawdy show in the theatre house. Mike the Fish and his lot are there in the cheap seats too, just down the aisle from us. Mike gets a wild idea. He wasn't big on planning and throws a heavy ceramic spittoon at Slackjaw. Hits him square in the face and breaks his jaw. Oh, that's pretty where we got the name. We like to see if there's going to be a blood brawl, but Slackjaw just points to the door and we all leave, with Mike laughing at our backs. Waking up the next day without telling us why, Slackjaw notions for us all to follow. He still can't say a word, so we just come along. When we stop at the docks and Slackjaw pays coin for it, a heavy chain covered in hooks. It's for fishing in the deep, something you'd attach to a long line off the side of a ship. It's about 4 feet, made of thick links, and there are shark hooks coming off it at different angles. Slackjaw's got that thing wrapped around his left arm, dangling at his side. Not sure how he knew where Mike the Fish was staying, but when we reach his girl's house, Slackjaw throws a bottle through the window just like that. It's almost noon. There's a bunch of screaming inside and Mike pokes his head out, looking wide-eyed and baffled. When he sees Slackjaw out on the streets, a look comes over his face that still gives me the willies. Pure murder. Mike comes out the side door bellowing like a blood ox, holding a cleaver, heading straight for Slackjaw. When they come together in the street, Slackjaw spins and the shark hooks bite deep into Mike's arm and shoulder. He screams, but Slackjaw holds onto the chain. He's standing there with his jaw broken, clenched tight, with his chain wrapped around his left arm. Hook sunk into Mike the fish, just knifing him as fast as he can. Mike couldn't fight very well, hooked like that and using his left hand, but he was a big guy and it took a lot of stabbing before he went to his knees. Everyone was cheering at first, but then we all went quiet. It just kept going and going until finally it was just Mike the fish blubbering, crying like a baby, and the sound of Slackjaw's knife. When it was over, and here's the brilliant part, Slackjaw took out a note and stuck it to Mike's face with a nail. Ooh. It just said, "If you want a job, come to Bottle Street." Slackjaw didn't talk right for a couple of months, but word spread fast. But at the end of the year, once we had a sizable gang going, he sent out letters to the other bosses, telling them that he was running a brand new crew over on Bottle Street. Most of them laughed or beat up the guys who delivered the letters. Green-eyed Tersh even came back missing a thumb, but apparently Slackjaw was expecting that kind of reaction and had a backup plan. A week later, 4 of the bosses were dead. Jesus. It seemed like a series of unfortunate events, but everyone knew better. One shot dead by the watch while standing in the middle of a meat market. Another slipped and falling into the water out cold. One of the other bosses found in bed with his belly open wide and a Tivian pear stuffed in his mouth. Still not sure what that means. And Sheila Barnsworth was found bubbling in a cauldron of hot wax. Ugh. God. Slackjaw sent out another set of letters, offers to the underbosses, telling them they'd be treated fair as peers. He even sent Green-eyed Tash with one of the letters, and all of the underbosses accepted. After spilling the guts of his main competitors, Slackjaw went in for stabilising his business. Real neat, with cooling in favours, smoothing things over, giving everyone a little bit of coin or drink as a bonus, showing what he could be like as a boss. So everyone got quiet, which always makes the boys of the City Watch nervous, of course. Word went out among the Royal Spymaster snitches, the responsible citizens group they called themselves, telling everyone working in a shop or sweeping off the front steps of their homes to keep watchful eyes for Slackjaw and his men, trying to suss out what they were up to and what had just happened. But Slackjaw ain't stupid. He greased a few palms along the shopkeepers and on the watch too, telling them that he was in town to stay and that these things would be run properly from now on, without so much blood. He was finally a real boss, ready to settle into the business of moving whiskey, running the hound fights and offering up the ladies and gentlemen of the night, if you take my meaning. Yeah, I get you. Then the plague came. At first it seemed like a good thing. A few people got sick and everyone wanted to buy those potions from Sokolov or Piero. Health elixir or a spiritual remedy, they called them. Slackjaw told me he saw an opportunity. We already had an old whiskey factory with a still, where we could water the stuff down and sell it discounted. Doing the same with what Sokolov's elixir was a smart plan. Pretty soon everybody in the slums was sick and business was good. But after a while there were so many people down with plague that everyone got scared. Everyone started acting real nasty and everything fell apart. When people can't work, they don't have the coin for elixir, watered down or pure. When the Empress died, it seemed like Dumble would slide into the void. Spymaster Burrows took over and the Watch started using all that new Sokolov technology. Watchtowers, tall boys, and them arc pylons. They put up a wall of light across Clavering Boulevard and cracked down hard. But Slackjaw surprised us again. Instead of leaving town on a boat bound for Morley on one of the other isles, he stayed and kept it all together. We get as much elixir to fight off the plague as the City Watch with their taxes and rations, and that's kept us alive so far. Crowley, Bottle Street Gang. That's a long read, dude, but now we know about the Bottle Street Gang. Apparently there's fucking... Oh, there's more bone charms over here. Oh, fuck, there are more of them over here. And another mystical fish artifact. I didn't realize there's more of them. Oh my god. There's a rat. I'm on an occultist, apparently. Alright, what do we got now? I got 7. Good lungs. Breathe capacity in water and slightly increased. Yeah. Breaking glass sound is moderately reduced. Moderate keyhole peeping magnifying. Ooh, that wouldn't be bad. Drop assassination gives you a bit of health. No. Miss more like often with arrows and bolts. That's good to have. I don't really like the other ones, but I suppose breaking glass could be good if I'm going to be stealthy. Interesting. Oh god. Field survey notes, the Royal Spy. This is the 4th day, month of high cold. Progress continues on the suppression of gang activity in the distillery district, but more slowly than unexpected. The ruffians operating there have been cunning. I'll grant them that, but it's only a matter of time. I'll see their leaders flogged in public and sent beneath the royal executioner's blade. If I had my way, that mute bastard would be working night and day, removing the heads that needed removing. Internally, the Empress does not seem pleased with my investigations. It seems that it is beyond her thinking, against her very nature as a trusting person. To believe that traitors move among us, but I know they do, they must. No, Jessamine would rather spend her time with the Royal Protector. At least he's likely to stop any immediate threat to her safety, but a strong arm is not what's needed against those who would undermine us. How would Corvo's sword stop a poisoned wineglass or an explosive delivered by courier? It will not. These are the many threats around us. Threats required meticulous efforts to police. Young Lady Emily is undisciplined, I'm afraid. Here within Dumble Tower, she receives instruction from the finest tutors known in the Isles. Yet her mother spoils her, and she spends most of her time lost in imagination, wasting her time drawing or asking Corvo to teach her to fight with wooden sticks. The girl might rule the Empire someday. Every moment spent as play is a moment wasted. Good lord. Shoring up security for the main gate leading into Dumble Tower has been another pet project of late. To think that back in the day, Emperor Caldwin left it open to the public during the day, allowing anyone to come and go as they please. If it were up to me, I'd seal off access to the streets entirely, but the Empress won't hear of it. The waterlock is much easier to protect, and if it were the only way into the tower, traffic in and out would be greatly reduced. Someday the wrong person is going to slip in, and we'll suffer for it. Someone like me. Mark my words, no amount of security is excessive when it comes to protecting heads of state. The Empress also disapproves of my plans with the Sokolov devices. Sokolov himself has no interest in security, of course, but he's vain and therefore keen to see his inventions deployed in any fashion. This wall of light he's been tinkering with has promise. In any case, at least I was able to convince the Empress to upgrade the pistols carried by the officers of the Watch. Why do I worry so? When no one else sees to care, if I ever fall asleep, will it all sink into the ocean? Will the rough things clamber over the walls and fill themselves on our flesh? Ugh. This is what I see in the same dream several times each month. If only I had more say in things, more authority, I could protect us all. Perhaps I've been working too hard. Dinner and an evening of conversation with a certain lady of refinement might be in order. Perhaps something nice in the East Estate District. Hilram Burrows. So he was just, this is before all the shit went down. He basically was like worried about the Empire and he didn't think the Empress was doing enough to protect it. Good lord. Rumours and sightings. Dowd? Who's Dowd? For over a year now I've lived away from the Abbey without the company of my overseer brethren or the guidance of the blind sisters of the oracular order. Days have passed with me sleeping in the dens of cult purses, murderers and worse, and the nights have seen me prowling through the worst alleys and richer corners of Dunwall. I have taken my meals with killers, at times I have ventured beyond the city walls, meeting in forgotten graveyards and the outlying ruins frequented by those of ill means. My beard has grown long and I wear the weathered clothing and bits of boiled leather favoured by the Bottle Street and hatter gangs, and by those rough men and women who make their trade kniving others in return for coin. My hands have run red with blood, it's true, but I have selected my targets with care, choosing among those criminals and heretics who are not fit to live, executing them justly and using their deaths as a means of building my reputation. So this trick has allowed this trick has allowed me to make my name among any murderous colleagues without taking the lives of the innocent. My goal is singular. I must impress the assassin named Dowd in order to get him close to me. Of all of the particulars of black magic we have tracked, none concern the Abbey as much as Dowd. It is said that his mother was a witch from one of the archipelagos off the Pandician coast, taken captive by pirates venturing far from the Isles. According to the legend, by the time the ship returned, the captain was dead and the witch controlled the crew, with Dowd still a shadow in her belly. The earliest stories tell of a gang killer without mercy, moving along the shopkeepers and city watch officers of Dunwall like a reaper through wheat. Then a period of silence followed, years. We now believe he spent travelling the Isles, studying autonomy and the occult, in the great halls of learning and in the hidden basements frequented by fellow dabblers in the forbidden arts. Dowd is even purported to have spent a winter in the Academy of Natural Philosophy itself, and for a time, before his schism developed, he counted the Brigmore witches among his allies. All the while he honed his craft, and it is during this time that we believe he began to consort with the outsider. New reports emerged of a dusky-skinned assassin, paid by the elite to eliminate their rivals in Dunwall and in the other major cities across the Isles. Those who saw him and lived numbered in the handful, but all of them reported something strange. He appeared and vanished like smoke from a nearby rooftop. He gestured, and a noble woman stumbled from her balcony, falling to her doom on the cobblestones below. Most recently, as the new threat of plague has risen in Dunwall, Dowd has been seen leading a gang of men in dark leather, dressed as factory whalers in their vapour masks. They seem loyal beyond comprehension for one so unworthy, leading you to wonder if some of his magic is dedicated to lulling their minds and enslaving them. Only a month ago, one young girl claims to have come upon a strange scene. Carrying a bottle of milk home to her crippled mother, she was taking a shortcut through the tailor's district. In a narrow street, she passed beneath a window and heard unusual sounds from within. Pushing aside the ratty curtains, the girl saw an abandoned apartment used by miscreants for gambling and trading haberweed. An occult shrine had been erected against the far wall, which she recognized from the teachings given by her local overseer. A man she described as resembling Dowd was kneeling before the shrine, muttering to an unseen spirit as if in an argument. He took a carving made of pale bone from the altar before him, and the lights all went out in a gush of unclean wind. Quiet as a field mouse, she slipped away, running until she reached her home. There can be no doubt Dowd is an agent of the outsider and must die, for there is no limit to the evil this man might do. This is my solemn oath and the great purpose of my life. Until Dowd is dead and his corruption has been purged from the world, I will continue to move among the depraved, winding my way toward him. I will not drop my guise or don my overseer's mask again till Dowd breathes no more. So Dowd must be the dude who killed fucking Jessamine, because he had smoky, you know, he was all smoky and stuff. Right. Interesting. That is certainly weird. Okay. Well, I've got powers, and you see there's a rune over there. With my mute powers. There we go. So that was just a lot of, like, knowledge dump, I guess. Knowledge dump, is that what we want to call it? Fuck it, it's the word I'm using. Knowledge dump. Yeah, I got a lot of lore, I guess, which is cool. Do enjoy the lore. Where's my... Oh, I want to put, there it is. Dark vision can go there. And then sleep darts. Perfect. Ooh. Is that a fish? It is very dark though. There's just a rune over here, boys. Gotcha! Play your way. Powers. The powers you obtain from rooms can be used effectively. Use creative, blah blah blah. Cool. Do I have... Oh, I would like vitality, but I want to get that extra dark vision. Yeah, so I need one more rune. And according to the heart, no more here. Oh, look at that. Wait, so I have... Where are my objectives? Objectives. Okay. That's all good. Alrighty guys, we might call it into the episode here. This one was a lot of, well, crazy shit to begin with. We now have superpowers. Fuck me. And then we've got a lot of lore and background on characters, which we're probably going to end up running into. 'Cause why would they tell us about them if they're not important to the story, I guess. Next time we'll talk to Admiral Hadlock, and see what the hell the next crazy plan is. Thanks so much for watching. As always, it's been Flapping Kiwi with another episode of Dishonored. As always, have a good one, and we shall see you next time.